All right, good afternoon, everybody. Could somebody give me a quick sound check here? And we'll get started. Do these levels look okay to you, Michael? That looks a little low to me. Is that right? Should be okay. I'm not sure what it did yesterday. Just give me a quick sound check here, guys, and we'll get started. Welcome, everybody, to day 3 of Juggernaut Trading's Essential Equities Training Curriculum. And a lot to talk about today. I'm looking forward to the topics we have to discuss. We'll do an hour or so of lecture, and then we'll do about another half hour to 45 minutes or so of live trading. All right, and you should have received some information from Jeremy regarding the extra bonus material we're going to add next week. All right, which should make up for any time in between the hour and a half to 2 hours that we ran during the week, and we'll be covering the additional material will be regarding proprietary trading issues, since once again, just to remind you, most of the attendees here are currently registered to become professional proprietary traders with my firm here on Wall Street over at Quasar Trading, and we will be covering some Series 56 tutoring, and we'll also be covering some material on the Trader OS platform, the Tachyon platform, rather, not the Trader OS platform. We will be covering the Trader OS platform as well. All right, so let me get straight to it and get over to the Trader OS platform. And loud and clear, Vroman says. Okay, great. Thank you, Vroman. Sounds good then. Let's get started then. All right, here's our slide 1, and once again, here's our disclosure. Remember, everybody, just giving you ideas and suggesting ideas and building arguments. I'm not saying any kind of absolutes here. All right, we only are basically helping you to become a better trader by helping you avoid some of the pitfalls and some of the things to look for that professional traders do look for. All right, so just keep that in mind. We're not here to just recommend this stock or that stock, you know, remember, everybody's in charge of their own business and trade at your own risk. Okay, everyone, so there's our disclaimer out of the way. Chart pattern analysis. All right, let's talk about chart patterns here today. Let me get over to my pointer. And let me just get another browser up as well so I can see everybody chatting at the same time. Okay. And let me get rid of this alert on the other room. And we should be all set. Okay, great. Let me get over to my slide now. All right. Differentiating various chart patterns. All right. I want to look at a couple of different, very simple patterns. Nothing too complicated. I want to keep it simple here, which is what I basically do. You know, I don't use a whole lot of additional studies. I don't clutter up my charts. I'm just looking at volume, a few moving averages, and basic candlesticks. That's all I'm looking at. All right, and you know, I'm going to use a couple examples of some stocks that we traded today, where the charts basically told you what to do on the stocks. All right, different patterns, volume analysis. All right, very important to have your volume bars down here. Okay, that's the gas in the tank. That helps drive the car up or down. All right, so, oh, I got stopped out of that name over there. Yeah, Tesla's still looking for lower lows. Maybe it doesn't even 20 here. And just give me a moment here, if you would. Need to buy this Tesla back right here. And I'll talk about this trade in a little bit. Okay. Let me get back over now, and let's talk about chart pattern analysis. All right, trend analysis. All right, I have a good example today. Trend trading rules, gap strategies. All right, we had a big gap down today. We were down 13, 14 handles in the S&P futures this morning, and we filled all the way almost to unchanged. We were only down 3 handles at one point. All right, that was a strategy. That was a very, very effective thing to look for. It worked out really well for you to go long, just basically the market and stocks across the board. That's why it's good to be an intraday trader who comes in the day flat. All right. Typically, our style of trading here is riskless type style trading, where we're trading these gaps and we're coming in flat because you don't know what's going on with the world and uncertainty. We're in the middle of this government shutdown. There's news coming out overnight. We live in a crazy world. Anything could happen. You have terrorism. You have issues with currencies. Anything could happen overnight. So it's nice to come in flat to a 13-handle gap down like we had today and be able to trade it long to make monies. So, and just give me a moment here. All right, identifying technical triggers. All right, you'll hear me call out, something triggering on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the half-hourly, the hourly, sell signals, buy signals. All right, I want to talk about that, and then I want to talk about a little bit about basic Fibonacci analysis. So let's move forward here. Okay, differentiating various types of chart patterns. All right, guys. There's the W pattern. There's a head and shoulders pattern. There's pennants. There's staircasing, floor and ceiling type patterns. All right, and I'm going to use a couple of examples here. All right, here's a teacup right here, this pattern. Everybody sees this right here. This is a very compelling pattern. You're looking at one right here, live on this Tesla. Here's a teacup. You see this teacup, how compelling this was? Right, dead on lows, down an inefficient 7.5, round levels below, down even 10 levels below. All right, Tesla right now having a big, big, big down day, right? Down, 15 points here. It was only down 5 before, and now it's down 15. All right, so they're really, really selling this stock today. This is the biggest down day I've ever seen in the stock. I tried trading it long a couple of times at the even 10, at the even 15 level, and I got stopped out twice, so I'm not going to trade it anymore. Still a good green day, and I needed to have a good green day to be able to afford the luxury of being able to trade Tesla because I lost money on it, and I'm glad I'm stopped out of it. It's still going lower. All right, so right now this Tesla, right, is trending, right? It's making a series of lower lows. It's triggering. Right here, it triggered on its hourly chart. When I say hourly, all right, I mean, I'll take a quick look at the hourly chart here on Trader OS. Let me get over to my Trader OS platform real quick. All right, you really want to be conscious of your hourlies, your short-term time frames. I'm using a 2, a 3, a 5, a 15, a 30, and an hourly intraday, right? Those are my time frames. So I am constantly coming over here and looking at, and let me pull up Tesla. And if you notice here, Tesla, when I say it shifted on the 15, on the hourly, and look at how important this was. I mean, this was good for $10 just now intraday, right? Here's the hourly chart, right, on the day, right? So here's 10-1, and here's 10-2. All right, so right here is where it's triggering an entry to sell. All right, and right here, you can see other patterns that I'm looking for. These are all very, very compelling patterns. Right here, you have a pennant, okay? There's a pennant. Does everybody see that? right? You have a pennant on your hourly, right? And you had a big teacup on your shorter term, on your 15, right? Let's look at the 15. We had this big giant teacup here, all right? So the cup on the shorter term, right, is looking like a pennant on the longer term, right? So one leads to the other. So it's a precursor, right? So what's a precursor to the cup forming? The shift, right? You see this shift here, you see this shift here. And when I say shift, I mean when these are 15-minute bars we're looking at. When this candle low goes lower than the prior candle low. This candle low went lower than this candle low. So that's where it shifted on this nice teacup shape, right? It looks like it's upside down. There's the cup. There's the handle, right? And it's a cup. That's a very compelling pattern. And it led to a really, really big sell-off in this Tesla here. And what was the dead low here? 75.40. And it's down, you know, it's looking like round level arguments might bring this thing all the way down to, and let's look at this Tesla. I may buy this stock here. Let's look at a 5 minute right now. Okay, I'm very big on the shifts here, guys. All right, I'm always looking. When I say stocks and markets always tell you what to do, now the 5 minute shift is a long way away. Let's go back another time frame. Let's go back to the 1 minute. I don't want to buy it on a 1 minute shift. It just shifted on the 1 and it shifted on the 2. All right, so it went higher high. So really I want to wait for a shift on the 5. We're starting to get it now. But we didn't get it yet. Here's the 3. Now on my, when I say I look at 3s, typically I look at 3s on my tachyon, and these are always 3 minute charts on here. All right, so the 3 minute chart, if I do a left hand click on my bar here, right on my tachyon platform, it'll show the high and low of this candle. So the high of this candle is 755. It's trading 77 right now. So if this stock gets above 755, then it shifts on the 5 minute and it's reversing this downtrend on a short-term time frame, right? It's more of a compelling argument, and I'm going to buy it here. I bought Tesla back here, small, single tier. Stops are at lows, so this is a pretty heavy risk here, right? I'm risking, you know, a few $100s. Stops are $1.60 lower, okay? So, and I've already lost a few dollars in this Tesla. All right, so now it's coming into round level down even 15. It may run into trouble there, but I'm looking to see if it shifts here, all right? And this is something I might tweet, all right? So you'll see me in the room. Looking for a shift on the 5, long Tesla on the 5 minute shift here. Okay, and everyone should get in the habit of posting their tweets. Okay. And look at this. It really isn't shifting on the 5 yet. It shifted on the 3. Remember, we saw this is a 3 minute chart. This candle went higher than the prior candle high, right? So I'm in the money now on Tesla, by the way. Okay, so we got a higher high shift on Tesla. Very nice. I'm making money. I'm getting paid. I'm happy. Okay, let me get back over to my Trader OS platform and finish my tweet now. And here we now look at what's happening. Now we could get a blue line shift on the 5, right? Does it shift on the 5 here? Look at it. It's right against it. There it goes. It did it. It did it. You see that candle? It just barely got above it. Okay, it shifted on the 5. Tesla just shifted on the 5. That's a big deal. It hasn't been able to shift on the 5 for almost 10 points now, right? That's the biggest candle since this stock just dropped 10 points, right? It's pretty relevant. So Tesla shifting on the 5 here, and I'm getting paid. I'm making back all the money I lost before, and maybe I can make $5. Okay. Maybe. Shifting on the 5. What's a good target now? Now it's passed down the even 15 level, so now I'm looking for $3 higher. So my target on Tesla for target 1 should be to offer at down and even 5, which is another $1 higher here. It's basically the 180 level. So good job by me buying Tesla down there. just paid for this class, right? Tesla very heavy, doesn't want to bounce. Somebody else is saying something. Thank you, Vroman. Yeah, that was a good buy. So let's continue on here. And I'm going to look for... boom, 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 boom. 450. 450 would be 182.50. So I'm looking at up here, guys. 182 or just above 182, 181 something. I'm looking above 182 for my target. I'm going to go 182. I want to go to the even 10 level, which is $4 higher from here. So $4 from 179 is 183. So that's what I'm looking at here. 182.44. Let me chisel 182.44 half. Go out on bats. Add liquidity. Orders in. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on Tesla. And I'm up nicely here. And I'll show everybody my print here. Here's my positions, guys, in case you're curious. I'm long 100 shares of Tesla, 177.38. So I'm up $2 in it. I'm down on the day. You see this? I'm down 260 on it. Right? I tried buying it at 181, stopped out for a half a buck, bought it at 177.90, down 15. And I got stopped out of that. Then I tried it one more time, and I got stopped out of that. So 3 times I got stopped for a buck. I went into it a 4th time now, and now I seem to have gotten it right. Single tier here, right? That's all I could risk. It's a $15 stock. I'm having a fairly good day. I'm back to my high P&L. I am on my high P&L. I'm up $600 right now, just like yesterday. Remember yesterday? Was up 600. So I'm doing pretty good, right? I didn't do well. I was up 600, and I ended up going unchanged. I actually went red, which was really bad. All right, now let's discuss that. Okay, let's discuss that. That was in this other stock that we traded today, which I'm still long, which is GPN, which just made new highs. GPN new highs. You see this stock I had earlier? Look at this. It took her out. Remember we bought it on the shift off the 55.50? All right. Remember I said it was shifting off of 55.50, 15 minutes shifted. All right. Now I was looking for even 10 levels. That's what I'm looking for. So this stock is ripping right now, and I'm doing pretty good. There's Tesla back above 180, up $4 in Tesla here now. Very happy. I'm making good substantial money here. All right. So let's get back to our lesson at hand. And you'll see how a lot of these topics are working with today's events. So let me keep on going here. All right. And here is the slide for referencing 5, 15-minute, 30, and hourly charts. Now, you may want to set up, all right, wherever you can, some kind of chart package where you could quote a stock and have it come up on all those time frames, right? Have it linked to your level 2 and have all those charts and get a quick glance. You want to look at your 2, your 5, your 15, your 30, your hourly, and then your daily. It's nice to be able to have that snapshot very quick. Chart, quote a stock and see all those charts at once. I like to see that. I have that set up, not on my Tachyon. Tachyon isn't known for its great charts, so I use a different charting package. Currently, I use Thinkorswim. But you could use whatever you want that's comfortable. You could use the Trader OS, and I use Trader OS, right? But I can't use Trader OS because I have issues with Trader OS because I broadcast on it. But you are viewing on it, so it works very well if you're viewing on Trader OS to set up different time frames on your charts. So go ahead and make sure you use that Trader OS platform here, guys, to build additional charts. And you could build as many as you want. You could expand this platform over as many screens as you like, right? So set that up. Okay, so you could look at the 2, the 5, the 15, the 30, and the hourly. Now let's go back to Tesla and see how many time frames it just shifted on this little reversal. Well, we got the shift entry here on the blue line right when we called it. Look at how nice that looks. Look at how nice that looks, right? Just being patient, right, and waiting. We got that done while I was in this class in the room. Maybe I'll get my 183 target. I have it out there. Okay. So let's go to the next time frame here. Let's go to the 15 now from the 5. Okay, so now we shifted hard on the 15, right? Everybody sees that. Here was your shift on the 15. That was all the way down at 79.70. So you could have actually bought the stock there and had two arguments, right? Shifting on the 15, and it has the 180 level above, 25 cents above. So you could have actually chased Tesla $3 off its lows and comfortably bought 179.72s just based on that argument. It was shifting on the 15, and it has that gravitational 180 level to spit above, right? So very nice. I'm making a new high P&L. I'm almost up $1,000 here now. And Tesla, I think I'm going to get out right here. Boom, I'm out. I'm just going to take my profit and run. Okay, so flat Tesla just now. So here we go. Very nice trade. And I'll pull that one up here. You can see the execution. All right, we bought 177.38 and we sold 181.16. That was while I was sitting here giving this class to everyone. That just paid for the class, right, guys? Not suggesting that you should be trading right now. And I don't suggest anybody trade what you're here for a reason in the class, so try and stay focused, guys, if you can. Don't take my trades because then it'll take away and it'll distract you. There'll be plenty of time to trade. Let's use this first week in the quarter where it's basically supposedly quiet. It's not quiet, though. It's very active to learn and get educated. So that's nice. I just made a $4 move there. I just got paid. New high P&Ls, right? Up 800 now. Right? I'm very happy. I'm so happy right now. I was just unchanged after being up 600, and now I'm up. But look at what happened. It's all because of this GPN. Let me reload my window. It's all because of this GPN. Now, what happened with GPN is I trusted my idea. Now, GPN. Now, let me talk about GPN. Is Lou in the room? And I don't want to pick on Lou. Lou was not feeling good. My lovely little trading assistant that sits next to me. She's such a nice, sweet little girl. She had a really big day going today, right? She's up with me, trading GPN. She's up $500-600. Great day. She's not feeling well. She was out sick yesterday. I'm like, be careful now. You're sick, right? Don't put too much stress on yourselves. You want to be very conscious of that, by the way. If you ever get ill or maybe you didn't get enough sleep or whatever the case may be, maybe you're out too late the night before, be careful. You know what I mean? Because there's so much your brain could process, and you'll break down after a while. It'll test your resiliency. So be very, very careful not to overtrade, right? Very careful not to overtrade. Now, what she did here, all right, now, if you notice, I'm up almost $900. I had the same P&L with her. She went red and threw her stop. She went from being up 500 to being red to going down through her stop, which is like 200-300. She gets stopped at 200 and she gets blown out at 3, right? Now, where she could have done better or went wrong, and I'm not trying to pick on her, I'm using her as an example because it's important. Look at what happened. She was right, but she was wrong. She was long GPN, but it shifted on the hourly right here. I called it out and tweeted it. I did. Let's go back and look at that tweet right here. Here it is. GPN shifting on the hourly. I have it over here somewhere. Hourly failing, had to lighten up. You see this? You see this tweet? And this is why I want everybody to get in the habit of tweeting. All right? It's the little tiny things that make the biggest differences. She was long this stock with me. She should be up $900 right now. Instead, she's down 3. That's a difference of $1,200. That's a massive amount of money, right? That's a 6-figure salary, easily. That's more. That's $250,000 a year, right? Because of one little thing. One little thing. And that one little thing was this. It was just not respecting the shift in this name. thing's doing so well. I'm going to stay long this GPN till the end of the day. I'm only in 300 now. And I'm glad I got out of good sales in Tesla at 180, 120, by the way. Very nice, right? I don't want to have it if it rechecks 180, right? You have an idea of where it's going to go. You had the even 10 level, 182 something, but it saturates, it stops. So I canceled my offer and I hit a bid, all right? That's being proactive. That's another topic. Identifying saturation, canceling your order, and guarding a bid, right? Those are all topics in the advanced classes, by the way, just to overlap and not to get off topic here, which I quite often do. All right, that's a very important thing to understand, to be able to identify saturation and to be able to type. Remember, these algos deal in milliseconds. These algos are throwing up 100, 1,000 orders for every one that they get filled. Most traders that are not professional traders or are not successfully profitable yet, they have one order per trade. You should be doing 3 or 4 orders per trade, right? I had an idea for Tesla to get it to buy it at 177, to play it to down only even 10 to 182, right? It got to 180, 150, right? So I canceled my offer, which was higher, and I came down low offer, and then I guarded a bid. A bid dropped, and I tagged it in the amount, and it's done, right? That's it. Very nice. That's proactive management, okay? Don't give back money that you already made if you could avoid it. Now, let's see. Where did she go wrong? Okay, and how did it relate to the charts? How did the charts tell her what to do? All right, well, she was lopsided. She had a lot of shares on here. And let's get back to Trader OS and look at the hourly. Let's look at this hourly from this old chart that I did. Now look at this. Look at what this stock did. Watch this chart, by the way, and this is one of the best features of Trader OS. Now this is a tweet with the chart that I put out at 155. Now let's go to real time. Watch what this does. Boom. It filled in all the data. It went through the stop, right? It shifted on the hourly. This hourly bars had a lower low than this hourly bar. Shifted on the hourly. That's your sign to get out and wait for the dust to settle. Take your day trades off from lower, right, in a perfect world. Get out and look for a better place to add. Now look at the doji you put in here. There's a bit of a doji. The body's up here. It wicked down to these levels. It was there for a short period of time on the total hourly bar there. Most of the hourly bar is up here, okay? So now it shifted on the hourly, and then it shifted on this hourly. Once it shifts on this hourly, intraday new highs, then you get the big rush. You know why you get that big rush? Because that's everybody throwing in the towel. You have all kinds of events having there. You have shorts who absolutely have to stop out. Otherwise, they're not going to be around long. You have natural longs coming in, right, guys like me. Very simple, right? Does everybody understand this lesson here today and how important it is to use a trailing stop, right? I'm using real-time examples here, guys. This position got Lou, and it didn't get me. And, you know, I'm not trying to say it's because of experience or whatever. Maybe she's now look at this GPN, right? I just saw my P&L shift a lot. My P&L just went from 850 to 750 just now. Right? That's all I'm looking at here. So I look up here on the stock, and what happened? The 3-minute failed, right? The 3-minute just shifted. This candle low went through this candle low, right? That's the first time it shifted since when? Since what? 625? Oh, good out, Tim. Very good out. I just sold my GPN up there, right? It hasn't shifted since then, right? So that's $1.50 or $1.30, right? So that's the first shift. So I want to get out and take partials, trailing stops. So the shifts in the 2, the 3, and the 5 when I'm trend trading, and that's what that was. That was a shift to buy to trend trade it back up to the highs based on the teacup, triple top, right? There's no such thing as a triple top in Wall Street typically. That's an old saying. Very true, right? Once, twice, 3 times the charm, and boom. There it goes. So, just everything kind of coming together here, right, with all these different topics. All right, so let's move back over here. Where are we? 3:40. I got about another 20 more minutes of lecture. Anybody have any questions so far? All right. Now, on these 15s, you could use an EMA. All right. If you want to use a simple EMA, you could use an 8. All right. An 8 and a 21. SMA. I don't have them on mine, but I would suggest you set them up on yours. Okay? Don't clutter up with too many RSIs or stochastics, Bollinger Bands, all these other things. Just use some simple moving averages. All right? Now, I also have an overlay average. You see this right here? You could barely see it, but there's a very light blue line in the background on my chart. That's an S&P futures overlay. That's one of the very cool features of Tachyon's charts, and their charts are not that great. Their execution's exceptional. Their charts aren't that great. The Tachyon chart will let you put that study in. You could overlay that index or any index you want, all right? So that helps me to identify relative strength, right? So that's one thing that I really want to look at. So I'm very, very conscious about relative strength. That is one of my core arguments. In addition to trends, traps, tradability, right? Trends, traps, tradability, and then that argument as well for relative strength. I really like that one. All right. So let me move forward here. No questions here so far, huh? All right. Everybody's still amazed at my Tesla trade there, huh? Just pulled $4 out of that baby. That was pretty sweet. Now let's get over to dailies, weeklies, and then finally monthlies. Right now, what's relevant about what's going on in the market right now is you have to start referencing. Let me get over to a daily chart. And here's a daily chart that I'm just using on Best Free Charts because it quotes nice. Now, here's what I use on my daily chart. Very simply. I don't even really use a 100-day. I mostly just use a 50 and a 200. Okay? All right, that's the main one that I want to use. Okay? So now let's take a look at what's going on in the markets here right now. Let's look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ, right? Let's look at what's going on. Now, here are my time frames. We're trending along very nicely. The 50-day is leading the 100. The 100's leading the 200. They all have this nice steady uptrend. Everything's nice. You know what that's telling you? This nice, steady, there's even width in between these lines. You know what that's telling you? That means the market's got an underlying methodical bid, right? And it's just a perpetual buyer that's always there, and he's slowly buying in on higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And it's just steadily uptrending. That's telling you to buy weakness, right? Today, we had a 13-handle gap down. Look at this market, right? Look at what we had today. Look at the overnight in the S&P futures, right? If you just did that one little argument, right? Now, here's the S&P futures this morning at 9:30. Here's where they closed last night. Down 13 handles, right? Down 13 handles. So with this chart steadily going up and we gap down to here, you want to buy dips. And look at what happened. We bought all kinds of stocks this morning on the dip, and we got paid because we had that nice tailwind of a market. And with this market, if you look at this daily, we hardly ever get gap downs. Look, we had one here. We had one this morning. Let's count them. We had one here. We had one this morning. Then the last one we had was like 2 weeks ago. Big down day. We've had like 3 gap downs in like the last month. Look at it, all green bars back here, right? So very, very strong market. So if you see a market like this that's trending up, and these charts are telling you what to do, and you wake up in the morning, and remember what we spoke about yesterday. What's the first thing you do in the morning, everybody? What's the first thing when you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing you check? The S&P futures, right? I checked the S&P futures this morning at 6:30. They were down 8. I got out of the shower. I'm getting ready. I was running a little bit late. It's 8:15, 8:30. I'm walking out the door. I see they're down 13. I knew that there was an ADP number coming out at 8:15. Hence, the ADP number was not good. And remember yesterday we said to watch the economic calendar, right? Very important to know that there was an ADP number this morning. We went 7 handles lower. We were down 6, 7. We went down another 6 or 7. That's big, right? That told you probably not to buy the gap down pre-market before the ADP number. And I remember I actually thought about that. I was like, wow, a gap down. Let me get long in my swing account. And I actually said, wait a minute. Let me wait until I get into the office and the market opens. And I'm glad I did because the ADP number came out and we went a lot lower. All right. So all the topics are overlapping here, right? So the economic numbers, checking the S&P futures, getting your game plan together, knowing that we're down. I see us down, and I'm like, wow, that's great. That's great. We're going to have an opportunity to go long because I don't want to short this market. We're overall trending up. So gap ups with the market trending above all the moving averages that we see, I can't short that market as a rule. That's a bad risk reward. You're fighting that tide. Never go against the tide. Never fight the current, right? Never, ever go against the overall trend of the market. As a rule, unless you're doing A-move scalps and you're very quick or it's a news event or something like that. As a rule, you want to buy dips in a strong market, right? And just use that nice tailwind behind you as a solid argument for the basis of your trade. All right, so that's identifying technical triggers very simply, what I look at, guys. And you could tell, and it may look silly and unprofessional. This is the view from my terrace, by the way, up the block on Maiden Lane. That's Wall Street right there. This is the old AIG building. I like to keep it super simple. I don't want too many things going on. I'm not that smart, right? And I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart and humble enough to know that. And I just keep an objective opinion, and I just try and keep my charts simple. And I just like to use short and long-term time frame shifts and simple moving averages and volume, and that's it. All right, Japanese candlesticks as well. All right, so that's it. Let's move forward here, and let me just check my positions. We're getting close to the close. GPN shifted a lot. What else do we have here? YRCW, I'm long. Any other questions, guys? I'm going to blast through. I'm going to blast through the end of these topics here, and then we'll get over and we'll do some live trading in the fundamental news. All right, so here's just some simple charts showing a teacup pattern and how Bank of America, this is a long time ago, look at this, Bank of America was at $11, this is a couple years ago, and it was below the 50-day. You see that? Trending. Right now we're doing exactly the opposite to the upside. All right. Right. Hourly bars here. Okay, you see these hourly bars on Bank of America here? They're all red all day, right? That tells you something. Right? You always want to look at your hourly to get rid of the static and see what the overall stock is doing. Are they green? Are they red? All right. And GPN here had a red hourly bar because it had that big pullback. So that was kind of a fake out. So you have to respect those hourly bars, all right? Get flat around them. What time is it? All right, we have 10 minutes left. Let me see if we could cover Fibonacci's real quick. Gap strategies, all right? Let's talk about gaps real quick. Guys, 85% of these gaps fill, 85%. All right, so that means that when you come in the morning and you see what we saw today with the S&P futures, and let me get back to it. And you see these S&P futures gapping down here, 10 handles. You got to understand 85% of the times they're going to fill that gap back to the upside in the overall market indices. It doesn't always happen the same day, but typically it does. All right, especially if you have an overall trend that's going up like we do now. All right, so just remember that. And you could just stay flat and trade riskless and not have to worry about any kind of events overnight and having a gap up or a gap down, which is basically kind of gambling, right? You're managed risk to a certain point because we're above the 50-day moving averages if we're swing trading long. But overall, you know, this morning, I mean, yesterday I closed all those positions at the close, right? CRE and Facebook. We opened down 13 handles this morning. Those stocks were down. Facebook was down 30, 40 cents, and CRE was down $2 or $3 this morning. So, just not worth it. So wait for those gaps to come along, and they come along, and take advantage of them, all right? Okay? It's an additional argument, and it works very well, okay? Let me keep going here. Identifying technical triggers, okay? You see this one right here? This is just a basic, this is Nokia, just a basic example of how a teacup, lower low, triggers. And here I'm showing my layered covers. You see this? Look at this Nokia here this day. Now, I'm a big fan around levels, right? So you don't know it's going to go straight through there, but it's trending towards it, so I put bids below it and in front of it. I'm at 10.06, and I'm at 9.91 on this event on Nokia. All right? So keep that in mind. Somebody remind me to get out of this GPN before the close. Somebody just give me a heads up before the bell here. I got to sell some stock. So that's that. Moving forward, speaking of getting flat overnight, I have 7 minutes left. I don't want to be in GPN after the market closes. It'll be illiquid and it'll be $1 wide. It's a listed stock, right? Listed stocks, after they halt GPN, that stock will probably get 50 cents to $1 wide and be untradeable. All right, so I want to see what happens the last 3 minutes here. Oh, look at Tesla. Tesla going right back up. Could have bought it again down there close to the 180 level, right? But we got the best part of the move, right? Down here to up here. So we did pretty good there in that Tesla. And look at this, by the way. I didn't do that great. I'm up $117 on the day in Tesla, right? You know why? Because I lost $250 first, right? I kept trying to catch a falling knife. Now look at what happened there. Let's talk about that. I'm trying to buy and pick bottoms, right? Look at how costly that was. It cost me $2.50, right? I was down $250. I was trading a 100-share lot. So I lost $250 because I'm trying to do an arbitrary entry. You don't know where it's going to stop. That's why it's better to wait for a technical shift, a 2-minute, a 5-minute, to the upside, higher high candle, because you have that defined backstop as a worst-case scenario to get flat, right? So if I had to make a journal note tonight, I would say that, right? Tesla made 4 points in it, but basically only up 100 on the day, was making back losses because I wasn't patient. I didn't wait for a technical shift. I tried to jump in Tesla the first time it broke 180, down in even 10 or down in even 50. It was down even 15 there at 177.90, down even 15, right? So whatever. Difficult call there, but notice how I was able to hang with it, even though I took 2 or 3 losses. A lot of people can't do that. They'd be like, oh, my God, I lost money on it already. I don't ever want to go back to that stock again. Well, you know, I mean, you got to live in the present, you know, and let these stocks in the markets tell you to do. It gave you an opportunity, and it failed, right? So you have to trust your ideas, and you have to stick to your stops. And a lot of times I'll do that. I'll go in, I'll go out, I'll get stopped, I'll go in, I'll get stopped, I'll go in, I'll get stopped until I find that right spot, right? That's why you want to be a proprietary trader. I mean, if you're paying $10 a trade commission at TD Slaughterhouse or something like that, forget about it. You use that type of strategy, you'll run yourself broken fees. You know, I'm trading at very, very low, you know, fractions of those costs, less than, you know, a lot less than $10 a trade, all right? It's like around $1 a trade here. All right, so moving forward. No questions, huh? 5 minutes left. Let me get back over to my lesson planner. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover Fibonacci's today. We're getting a little tight on time. Maybe I'll do it in the post-market. Basics of Fibonacci analysis. All right. Basically, your fibs, it's a good thing to draw, all right? And this is a standard fib line. If you have a market, right, that has a low and a high, all right, you draw the fib. You grab the top candle and you drag it all the way down to the bottom candle, and then you snap it, and then it puts in your 50% line. That's your 50% retracement, right? This is your 36% retracement, and this is what, your 63 down here, okay? Plus fractions. The middle one is the half line, all right? Notice this stock, when the SPYs got past the 50 fib, all right, it impulsed hard all the way down to the next fib. So those are important levels to watch. That'll help you identify support, resistance, intraday, those kinds of things. I don't like to get too crazy with fibs, but I do like to snap intraday fibs, all right, on my daily charts, okay? It's a very good thing. Is anybody out there using fibs, guys? Does everybody understand Fibonacci's? Does everybody understand the concept of Fibonacci? I'll give you that as a homework assignment tonight, guys. Everybody go out and understand Fibonacci, right? Fibonacci is the name of an Italian scientist who discovered this consistent universal code in the universe. You know, in like a whippoorwill or in a seashell or in, you know, your body, the way it's composed, there's a certain percentage between your shoulder and your elbow and your wrist, you know, and all your digits on your fingers. There's a specific proportion from your eyes to your ears, right? It's the same thing with stocks in the universe, all right? So use them. They work really, really well. All right, and the algos use them. They key those formulas into their programs. So Fibonacci's are very well respected. So very simply, you know, use that. Like here on this SPY chart, very simply, you could have possibly gone long here on a retracement with the risk reward below that fib retracement, right, to make this on the upside. So fibs are a very, very good, useful tool. And I'll start using them more in the room, and I'll give further examples of fibs. That was a pretty weak presentation on Fibonacci's there, by the way. So I'll give more as we move forward. All right, so here's today's overview before we get to the post-market. All right, familiar yourself with compelling chart patterns. All right, we have several different kinds. There's the head and shoulders. All right, there's the W, which I like a lot. All right, W's. There's W's all over Facebook. Right, look at Facebook real quick. We got 1 minute. Let me get out of this stock real quick. Boy. And I just got flat for the day, up 700. Okay, so I'm up 700 from a high of 850. And look at the SPYs going out on their highs. All right, well, let me get over here, guys, and just get to my news ticker now. All right, and let's see what comes up in the post-market and see if we can't learn something here tonight. So good day today. I'm happy. Did 6 yesterday, 7 today, 6 yesterday. All based on simple arguments that we're learning about here in the class. All right. No questions or concerns. Okay, guys, here's 4 o'clock. Let's see what happens. Hawk announced its third quarter earnings. Don't really care about that stock. I'll take a quick look. All right, now remember, I have my platform up with my high ticker extended right now. I want to be watching my high ticker right now because I'll see news first here, and then I'll see it second here, right? Well, sometimes you'll see it first here, And second, on the news. That's when you know you have an early press release, right? Or maybe it was reported somewhere else, like Bloomberg or something. That's the one news service I don't have. And Reuters. I don't have Reuters. Okay, so let me get rid of my upgrade downgrade ticker. I don't need that. And all I need is my news ticker. ZLCS announces a reverse stock split. That's not really a positive thing. ZLCS, it's a $1.20 stock, 7-1. That'll make it a $7 stock now, right? Keep it listed on the NASDAQ or something like that. Camp just had earnings. That's a stock that could move. CAMP. And it is moving. Let's see what this Camp came out with and take a look at a daily, all right? It's in motion. It had good earnings. Let me click on it. Take a look at these numbers here. 19 versus 16 expected, and 58 versus 54 million on the revenues. So it beat. It beat on EPS well, handedly, and on revenues, Camp. Wow, stock's going up a lot. Let me take a look at the daily. I'm not doing anything with it, mind you. I'm teaching a class. It's a very volatile thing. And I just want to build some research for tomorrow. So Camp has this incredible daily, right? And it's making multi-year highs. This is an old school stock. I'll have to go back several years. Now, remember before I mentioned weeklies and dailies. Now look at this Camp. This is what you're finding now with NASDAQ stocks. You have to go back on the weekly to see where they've been. And look at this stock. These are all-time highs? Are they? I think they are. These are all-time highs on Camp. I got to go all the way back to 2004. Let me look at the monthly and just make sure. Yep. No, this stock's been around since the 80s, this Camp. Wow, look at this. These are not all-time highs. These are 2000. Now look at this. These are old-school NASDAQ highs. This looks just like the NASDAQ, doesn't it? It does look like the NASDAQ. That's what it was like when it was at 5,000. So 2001 highs here in Camp. That's relevant. All right, so let me tweet that. CAMP beats nicely on EPS and revs. 2001 highs here on the radar. That's all. So I'm going to watch that stock today and tomorrow, and we'll get a minder going for tomorrow. Let me reference a weekly here for this tweet because we have to go back so far, and you can't even see it here. All right. So that's that. Let me put the headline in there too. Look at this thing. This thing's a monster. Thing beat pretty good, huh? Okay, so that's Camp. All right, well, let's get a minder going now for tomorrow. Pre-market watch list. I'm watching Pandora. I'm watching Facebook. I'm watching Tesla. And now I'm watching Camp. Okay. All right, guys, so we're already getting a jump start on tomorrow, which is good. A lot of people are going home for the day. I want to make money. Okay, here comes another wave of news stories. Here's 1605. NLY announced a convertible. Is that right? Nobody cares. Getting back. Nothing really there that moved the market or moved any stock 1605. So I keep going back and forth. I'm looking at the headlines. There goes Camp again. Look at this monster right through the 20 level. Stock's incredible, huh? Multi-year highs. They love this thing. Stock might go up a lot more. You don't know. I don't know how it guided. This guy's selling 2020s here. And this Camp looks like it's going to go straight through 20 here. So keep an eye on this one here. Multi-year highs. It was a lot higher here now. Let's go back and see if we have any guidance on it. And I bought one of them here just to watch it. And I don't see any guidance yet. No. I don't see any guidance yet, so it'll probably guide on the call, so better be careful, huh? Right? Oh, really? What, a car got caught on fire? Oh, okay. Thank you, Vroman. A Tesla car caught on fire. Okay. Let's check for that. Yeah, YouTube video. Yeah, there's your headline right there. Okay. I would imagine that's a buying opportunity, but you know me, I'm just bullish on it. That's what that sell-off was, though. Okay. So what are we doing here? Let me get back over here to my news ticker. Okay, and 1610 coming up now. Remember, we're looking for round levels, round time levels. So 1605, now the next level is 1610. Okay, so Camp is definitely going in my ticker for tomorrow. And that's all I really have in the post market so far. I'm going to pair off 20 here. And I just have a couple of bids layered in that Camp around the 20 level. All right, let's get back over 1610 now. EOX did a, they completed a offering. That doesn't mean anything. You want to see when they're announcing an offer. PNW, don't care. Just watching these headlines as they hit. Okay, let's move forward here. And Calpine. Earlier I missed. I see that this stock they're gonna do. Oh, they're announcing that their earnings report doesn't mean anything. Don't care. Yeah, I remember that Citron tweet. So Citron, so that's a current trend, right? Citron moves stocks, right? Muddy Waters moves stocks, but Muddy Waters doesn't move stocks as much as he used to, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. They used to be more respected than they are now, right? You're only as good as your last trade on Wall Street. It's so true. And I'm long a little bit of this camp from the 20 level. It looks like it's going to go higher. And these are my bids. So I'm going to go high bid here, 2010. And now 2021 goes in front of me. So I'm kind of walking up the bid, and that's my offer at 39. So I'm going to try and sell some stock there. And I'm offered again up at 21. All right, so basically the only reason why I bought this stock is because it got through the 20 level. I was able to buy it below and above while it protected it. And then and now there's a hidden guy at 27. And it's making those 2001 highs, and it used to be much higher. So I like that, right? So it's basically positive news, technicals from several years ago, from over a decade ago, right? And momentum. Right now, this thing could be up 5 tomorrow with upgrades. Who knows? We might be looking at it up 5. You might be saying, wow, we bought it at 20. It's 23 now. You don't know. You might say, wow, it's at 18. He really chased it. But right now, the momentum's up. Oh, it guided Q3 in line. Okay, so it did guide in line. So maybe I better be careful. It guided in line and it's still going up. It guided in line and it's still going up. What does that tell everybody? Guys, what is that? It's breaking away from the 20 level now. Now, I won't trade the headline, but I'll second trade the stock. I'll second trade it. Looks like it's going to go higher. Look at these guys go in front of me here. I'm not going to sell this stock. I only have one of them left. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to leave bids below. I'm going to try and buy some on the bid if I can. I'm suspicious this is going to go much higher. Let me get back to that daily. I have no... Anybody know this name? Anybody know this stock? I remember it from way back in the day, over 12 years ago. But look at the room that it has here. The next level is where? 2140. Then after that, it's 2150. I'm looking back here at these levels. Okay. So, looks to go higher. A lot of momentum. Wish I didn't sell any. I just bought a little bit back at 2050, so it'll probably come in now. There's no bids below. All the way down to 20. Right? So, I have bids layered below this Edge X guy. We'll see what it does. So long 2-tier, very small, just playing around for educational purposes here. Fortunately, it's working well. Let's get back to the news ticker. All right, that trade's doing okay. All the news is out, so I really don't have to worry about it too much, right? It's going to take care of itself. So let me get back and see if I can find something else. Here's 1615, another wave. ULTR is doing some kind of offering. just want to put out hidden stock. All right, stock like this, you always want to go hidden, right? You see this camp in after hours? Okay, I'm showing my bids because I'm long the stock and I want to make it strong, and I'll buy it on the bid with a 50-cent wide spread. But here on the offer, there's a guy at 62. I'm going to go out on NASDAQ, and I click this box here to show 0, right? Boom, there I am. I'm at 59, chiseled, hidden in front of EdgeX, right? Now, you want to use NSDQ as a route when you do that, all right? Always hidden in the post-market on thinly traded names like Camp, always. Now, a guy just went high bid, so let me agitate him and go in front of him, right? I always want to chisel the bid, all right? I want to bring up the buyer if he's lurking, okay? I do. And I want to try and run it back into my offer so I could sell stock, okay? So I'm kind of building a position here in an average, and I'm playing the 50-cent wide spread, and that's it. Yes, currently I'm on the bid and the ask. Yes, I am working it. I am. And look at what I did. I brought up another buyer, so let me go in front of him. Right? It's 30 cents wide. Let me go at 30 with another one and make it look like there's another guy. Okay, so I went out on bats. I'm at NASDAQ below. All right, here's EdgeX. I'm going to join EdgeX and show nothing. I'm going to go 0. Okay, so I just went on EdgeX and I'm showing nothing, and I'm going to try and capture that spread. Okay, so I want to be careful here. This stock could easily come right back down in my face. The guidance is out, though. I like that the guidance is out and it has an established trend, and I like that it's breaking away from 20, right? It's breaking away from, it's not rechecking 20, right? It's a big level. It's a birthday level. It's a 0 level. It's a 13-year, 14-year high level. Oh, here's Obama with the interview in the White House. And just not going to pay attention to that. Don't really care. And look at that. Somebody just went in front of me, so let me go in front of him. So I'm walking up bids, right? And I did that today in that stock that we were trading, that GPN. I did that all day. Boy, I made $900 in that stock today. 840. That was my big winner for sure. Okay, back to the news ticker. What am I missing? What's going on? Anything else come out? Always checking. Nothing. Checking the news ticker. Checking the high ticker. The only thing I see is my camp. Camp. Okay. Guys were choking up there to buy that stock. Now there's a guy showing some size. He's got 3,200 shares for sale at 40. 2040. Right? Let me go hidden here, NASDAQ at 35, just to see if I could sell some. So I have some at 38. And then what are the highs? 62. I want to go all the way at the highs, 62. So I want to go 61. And I want to go hidden, right? NASDAQ, 0. 61. 1 penny in front of the high. Okay, that's where I'm going. Now they're hitting bids, and now I'm not doing good. Okay, I need to be careful. I have a bid at 20. I should probably pull it. They just cleaned out the 20 guy. Oh, look at that. A big bid joins me. 6,300 on EdgeX. Let me go right in front of him. No, can that. Might be a guy goosing it into his offer. You never know. Right? Could be a goose. So I better join the offer and at least sell one to be prudent, right? Does everybody see that? You don't know if that guy's real or not. He might just be some big guy trying to muscle it in. Might be a guy like me who's long an odd lot, less than 1,000 shares. Put up a 7,000 bid, get them to take you on the offer. Have a nice day, close out, made money, go home. Very dangerous, Froman, and very advanced, all right? But this is the last free market here, right? There's no algos. There's not a million people in it. It's post-market. All right. Very dangerous. Wouldn't suggest this unless you've had some decent experience. Now it's trading 35. So there's somebody hidden at 35. Does everybody see that? It's 29 by 38, but 700 shares just printed at 35. What does that tell you? that tells me somebody's at 35. So if I really want to sell stock, I should go 34 hidden, right? Time and Sales just told me that there was a hidden guy there. Uh-oh. I sold it immediately. They cleaned him out, right? They're trading 39s. As soon as I hit the offer, they took me. All right, so let me get up on the bid. Let me keep on tightening up the spread. Don't let these guys keep wide spreads if you could avoid it. Okay, just something to watch and do in the post market while we're learning. Okay, so we're through all the main headline times. It's 16:21 now. The last one is 16:30 and 16:45, and then 5 o'clock, 1700. Right, I'm not going to stick around till those later times. We'll stick around till 4:30 today and see if anything's there. But it's the first week of the quarter, so we're in pre-announcement season once again, just to remind everybody. And it's typically a very slow time, so not surprised. Have a good day, Dave. See ya. Okay, so here we go. Camp is almost at its highs. So does everybody see what's going on here with the chart pattern? Does everybody see this chart pattern right here? What is this? This is a pennant, right? It's a pennant. Here's the flagpole, and here's the flag, right? It looks like, that's a very compelling flag. And it's breaking away from the 20 level. It can't go back and recheck 20, right? There's probably a certain community out there that's trying to take that trade now, fade it, and try and buy it back at 20 chiseled in front of or below. It did that once, but it came right back above. And now it can't go back below 20 a second time, right? So anybody who's short it, based on that argument, capitulation, fade, it back into a round level, that kind of thing, he has to be concerned, right? I would be concerned. I would have, my order keyed up right now. And right now, say I'm long, which I am. I'm long 600 shares of this thing. Say I wanted to stop out of it 600 times. What I would want to do here, and I'll show you a little post-market trick, is type your size, which is 600, and go to your price target that you're looking to stop or where there's a bid. So I see that there's big bids down below, all the way to 20. So if it goes below, say, 2010, I probably don't want to have it anymore. Then let me go here on NASDAQ and go hidden, right? Because I don't want to go out there and just plop a 600 share offer out there. It'll spook the stock, right? So say that all of a sudden the bids start dropping, a big offer comes out, worst case scenario, and I want to get out. I'm all keyed up here, 2009, 600 shares hidden. So if the bids start to drop and I'm getting nervous, I could just hit that and I'll be offered hidden, and I'll clean whatever stock there is. There might be hidden bids. I don't know. Wow, look at that. 7,700 shares, bids 31. Right? I'm going to go in front of him by 5 cents. 5-cent chisel. Because he's so big. Right? Let's see what happens. They'll probably tag me. They will probably tag me. Now, that might agitate the 30-cent guy. He sees me getting done. He'll be like, oh, look at this guy. He's a big hero. He's going 5 cents in front of me with his little measly 100 shares while I'm showing 7,700. That might frustrate him. I know it would frustrate me if I was really looking to buy it. But it's a free market, isn't it? I could do what I want. Just like these algos could do what they want. Boom, boom, boom. Couple of stories. Nothing of note. Getting back over now. Looking at my low ticker, high ticker. That's it. All I got is the camp. Let me go EdgeX hidden. EdgeX 45 hidden in front of him. 44 hidden. Boom. Let's see what happens. Look at that. It just printed 44. Let me see if I could get some stock done here. I'm long a lot. I have 600 shares. I need to lighten up for sure. Yates. Yeah, John. What's your question? How'd you do today, John? Let me look at your P&L real quick while I got you chatting to me. You're green, red. Oh, geez, John, you're yellow. John, Gotta stop trading these ETFs. TNA, TZA. Uh-oh. Gotta be careful if they tag this bid now. John says, I know I came in late, may have covered earlier trades, but terrible question. Yeah, go ahead, John. And anybody else have any questions? I'm going to be wrapping it up shortly after 4:30. And just waiting for those last headlines, John's questions. Anybody else has any questions? Now's a good time to do it. Lou, were you here? I did a partial review on your trailing stop situation with GPN. Right? Are you there, Lou? I just want to talk to you about what happened. You did hear me? Okay. All right, good. All right, good. And I don't want to rub it in. Don't be dejected, dear. It happens. We're gonna fix it. All right, we are gonna fix it. I know you get upset when you have down days. John says I have a hard time trusting the action, like traded in P, Facebook, and GPN. Yes, I had a hard time trusting the action in them too, John. I gave back my day twice in GPN. I did. I should really be up $2,000 today because I was up 600 unchanged, up 600 negative, back to up whatever 750, which is where I'm like looking like I might close the day depending upon how this camp trade ends up. So, yeah, it is hard to trust, and yeah, I hear you, Lou. It'll be okay, dear. All right, it'll be okay. You just have to trade them, John. You know what I mean? You have to let the shifts tell you what to do. All right? Well, that is the conundrum, John. What happens with me is if I get stopped out and it grabs and I was right and I got shook out, I always get back in. And I'll give you a good example. This GPN this morning. Uh-oh. I hit some of those 30s there. He dropped. I got the last of them. Let's take a look at this GPN. All right. Now look at what happened here. We bought this stock this morning on the gap fill at 55. Do you remember 55s? There was the triple top and the guy wouldn't get off and I was screaming and yelling, right? I said after he gets off, look for even 5. Well, he got off and it went to 570 right here. This was up an even 5, right? Let's talk about this because this pertains to you, John, and this pertains to Lou for sure. So now look at what happened. Now Lou did something good here and so did I. We both made sales here. This is up an even 5 here. Right, so this is GPN making a new high, getting out of through 55, making a new high, up even 5. I sold it, right? It never dipped. It consolidated. It formed a pennant. It compressed. It had incredible relative strength. Remember, the futures are all the way down here at this point. It compressed. It made a new high. John, listen to me right now, man. You see this right here? This 56, 55, 80 level new high right here on GPN at, what is it, 10:30, 11 o'clock? There is no, pardon my French, there is no effing way that stock's going higher without me if I could do something about it. There's just no way. I'm taking an offer. I'm bidding. I'm being proactive. I'm up on the bid. I'm chiseling. I'm guarding offers. I'm doing all these kinds of things to get back in the stock. Lou did that. Lou did that too. EVAC raises guidance. EVAC. Take a look at that one real quick. Don't really care. Thinly traded. Let me get back to the topic. Let me get through these stories first. And then we'll get back to GPN. EVAC raises guidance. Don't care. That's basically all there is. BPIB. Don't care. ZLC. That looks like they announced a secondary nugget. Don't care. All right, let me get back to this because this is important, this point. Right here, it's making a higher high. Lou bought the stock back here. I bought the stock back here. I sold it down here. I bought it back here. It's too strong. You want to buy a stock higher, you know? You know, I get a kick out of guys on the desk that like, that's not my style of trading, or it didn't set up for me. What the heck are you waiting for? You know what I mean? Do you really want to buy a stock that's weak on a pullback? It's discretionary. It's dangerous, right? I want to buy stocks that are higher. When you can't get a stock to pull back to get to your level, that tells you something. It tells you that you really, really want to have it. You know, I'm not the kind of guy who sits around and it's like, oh, well, I missed it. You know what I mean? And I don't like to chase, and that's a fine line between missing it and chasing it, because I tend to chase a lot. But I'm very quick, right? I could get in at the top and out at the top and trade 10 ways till Sunday before the stock fails. So I'm the exception to that rule because of, you know, the fact that I'm adept at and quick. But makes sense, John? All right, now let's talk about Lou one more time. Now, Lou bought more stock here, and she bought, now we got hurt here. We both did. I went from being up 600 to being only up 100 here, right? Got back up here, was new high P&L, made a new high. Lou and I are as long as we possibly could be, and we're both at risk. She's up 500, I'm up 600. Now, the difference is, all right, and I mentioned this before, and I'm just going to review it again because it's important for Lou and it's important for everybody else. All right, here comes, let me get over to a Trader OS chart. Let me look at a 15-minute, a 30, and then an hourly, and then we'll wrap up the day, okay? And this will be the last thing we'll talk about. All right, GPN. Now, GPN on, let's look at the 15 first. Now, you got to use these as trailing stops. You have to, Lou. Now, she's long as many as she could. Maybe she's long 700, right? Maybe she's got 50,000 in buying power. She's got a couple other stocks on. She's got herself maxed out 700 shares. It's making a new high. As soon as you get this right here, you see this candle? This is a real candle. This is a 15-minute shift here. That's the first line of defense, Lou. As soon as you get a 15-minute shift, you have to be proactive. You have to hit the bid. It's shift S on a third, right? So you got 7 right here on that shift. I'm not on the right screen. I'm looking at GPN on Trader OS. I'll make it bigger. Is this good, guys? Can everybody see? I'm not on the right screen. Why is it on that screen? Hang on a second, guys. Something's wrong. For some reason, it moved up to that screen. Okay, let me move it up. Let me move it up. Okay, I'll fix it. I'll fix it. And thanks for telling me. I hope I wasn't doing this the whole session. Hey, Michael, if you're out there, could you come in here? Just the past few minutes. I'll give you a moment here. Hey, Mike, are you there? Jeremy, if Mike's there, give him a quick tweet and tell him to get over here. Let me see if I can fix this. All right, guys, I'm going to have to stop this and restart it. Hang on one second.